say welcome to Majita Monday. Everybody in the crowd, Dintang. You know, I've never actually greeted people in the crowd. Dintang, let's have. Hey, Tara. Exe, show you learn it this. Wow, now the baby say one. What the baby surala?
Black Friday. Kirana special sa you baby so kita kalona. Balu oti leso gela di milo.
Oladi mile. Or little. Business is a mapila. No, na gorcha kitchete evedo.
There's a more now kuning radis kaseta wazar nasha.
Yeah, kita na chatreta fully.
Arloma.
Exe, Blom lifestyle wa is returning special to la zarina. It's all thing ho basic so gravo. Na matlo mohodu. Understand? Kita ma isa ka mahay ulgo. How is the Blom lifestyle? Why you turkey lo say lumur dira halaga montu kamu? Sgebi tenge, di babe su tenge, Sdomane tenge, maelu tenge, utorel lame, nyek su tenge. We in the building, man. You know, I wanna come home every Monday. You go spanning, give me a go more change my pillow out there. I was giving some Majita, giving some Jimbos. Lennox su tenge, neto kamon lega chen.
Neto rasa.
It has given some Jimbos.
Yeah, we can fit ilegan na para.
Yeah. Melanove tile njit down.
Nagu adi mira ha.
Yeah.
Paleze logo charge orle no gay put surmo. Segri thomanzi.
We logo wine Mpho sir.
Agar ke bahuru jor ke sansa blend ya ka that's why neki.
Yeah.
Dibawi so ababa nana gi hata kama utudi kali.
O hata di trevecho.
Gi di fermenta.
Yeah.
Ombrostan.
So we tanga je.
Petite. Il est vêtu ya kopi. Ma
asemelo.
No.
Petite vedon. Ay. Is the T silent?
Yeah.
Like, do you pronounce it petite vedon?
Yeah.
No, it's petit vador.
Petit vedon. So both T's are silent in the name. Yeah, the man. Camera ruava to that lily.
You petit.
Aye. But
Petit kin punya no era ramata.
o shamba utiaga.
Bo.
Kunengane.
Wai.
Baya ona flow.
Hanya.
Harra.
Little voice over banondin na di tsorke strugu aku tusi.
Krastin be, ¿qué tal bola?
Agar nego batas tel se simbar ke sau huru bak pizza en ke shi galite. Kita mau telepon, gue mau nunggu video ngurenden kan di mana tonalin kan begin. Yes.
The baby is still brag.
Yeah, I'm Sfuba.
Business is going good, I see.
Yeah, business is going great.
Yeah. Just let me give you one piece of advice. When business is going good, never disclose the numbers. SARS is gonna come after you. I'm just saying.
No, it's a charity work.
Yeah, I get charity work. Brag. Arriveta. Understand? I was doing my namela my fulu.
First time more.
Betam tayo. Razake go. Logo crazily echo. Mona. Ora beto go ito sa tayo. Lelal to mo kargi. Yalo mo tadi tajo.
Coba uluki.
Marle la pila ka jun.
a o no ka sela wa khona
aka tswelela pele
a o le ba re re na le khanga
le welcome ile December ka pele
welcome December
ke December
a o le
di buile
o ira hetse ntho ngwa khona
yeah
ke tshaba o ibitsa mara o ira hetse gwetla
yeah o ra itse gotlana ba
a o ira hetse gwetla na tshome ka se kauhile ne mara Stenberg na la ma ke ra bo
yeah Rustenburg na le matla
ne a
too
na le
much,
matla re
too much. Rustenburg doesn't play. Rustenburg, the minute you say Makutumen, they will pull up in numbers. Understand? Because they know, right? Baleke ba monate.
ane se kauhile
Apele navar ne ka tham tailo mong muri matafula. I wonder ka
a o hopole tjho
chomi ya ka imola.
Bona le video e teng.
Chomi ya ka mola ne stick bonoile chomi ya ka ibela bo mona le bona. O tsama ka mtailo mo.
o hupa ya ba botitiele boeno ba o nahanele
And ironically, I think on the table, nigga jive ka tsuri metsi ka gore ne bo se tlhole bo sa tsaya. Yeah, Nestor wa abuse no a bo sanya ke. So, and nahana kona o thoma December shibirtse.
Serpajitse
Serpajitse. Ya nesa flow. El gripo grimandi. Manega. AKA machine. AKA cotton o di mo ga motho. AKA Italian Babylonian. Let's batho lena.
Mr. South Africa.
Yeah.
I got one follow la dalla mpera ke president ama 2K na ke president ama 1K.
Yeah. But what about 1K fella?
Yeah, why easy.
What side?
South Africa jikelele.
Yeah.
South Africa I love you in advance, ne?
Whenever you say that, I know there's trouble coming.
Yo,
It's a joke, but that
ke mona a ke re tsena batho ba ra to mbutsisa re di word of the day ding ngo mo nkara ai nna ke sanya ka word of the day ke nyako botsa ka batho ba ba ntso ke nyaka ba change kae.
yeah. Fair.
A re o nyaka ba change kae ke re motho mo ntsho ha fitla go plekeng e sa tlala a re yo ka mola hona batho bona hona batho e re ke jiki a ke no re be motho o motsekere mmutsisa motho o motho na ga ke re hona batho why o sa nyako tsena go ra wena o motho a fetsa motho a teng he ho tletse wa itse re a re ka mola go pitana ke palla go tsamaya ke khane o nyaka go bana le eng phila wena ka ta like why batho ba ba ntse bona le jealous lo ke tjo a ke no go le botsama modimo ke a go khopela tu khopela bo ile gore batho ba bantsho ba fokotse jealous a ba tlhoke go bana le jealous ka mkhoro sokotseng ka teng mo maphelong re na le re imelwang a re tlhoke jealous shem a ke nyako le botsama and bana le utlwela ona le di-influencer nyana tse di bitsa boikelaka wa di tsa mo hae o kare mothateng a nona le negative bo botlhe ba shiana ka mo mora wa hae o te putse gore mara bafana ba rena bonyala bomang ba no utlwelela motho ba re ke influencer no bolela negativity wa mmona gore o go ka mmutsa re cosine theta minus 1 ke po a sharp I love you in advance. I love you in advance, ne?
Right, Mail. Hopefully, like a mind contradiction. These days, go TikTok. I'm following some guy, Barki. Po Mapara. How am it? How could judge? The first video I saw of that guy, are Uchar Awafi or Ronald common sense or E. Maruja or E. Marwatu only the piloto was a chelta now I have dig. I'm a jar. If I was a ripada, the bucks 50 bucks. I'm a jar one naka. Otama tata tama. What is Olav cook? Davan Marco Popo Paro. Davan Arcade Professor Popo Maparo had the best assessor. At the high part, the what? The best. The what? The best. What's about the yeah. So like his content is more on people who contradict themselves mentally. Understand? You want to do something, but your mind says do another thing. So, you know, basically you find yourself come koma ila uta ngufika wo play what however to go but olwena umuntu. Whatever. Next it's a brag.
Sfuba brag.
Ah.
Hape e ke bona mo pela ha o Mapara last time ke lebeletse show ye ne trenda. Mfethu ke
Nero trenda ka brag. Naga barua mo hae. O itse le wena ba sautse ka tshego.
Sfuba
bona ntho e nkgatlang ka Majita Monday kore you stand for us as men.
Yeah, always.
Wa understand.
Always.
Na buru ka ke spanning ke theoetse.
Yeah, kana o sergeant ma?
Yeah, ke Sergeant Manyemola.
Tako.
Yeah, ke
Na ro itse ka nyek sa ke ro bra rena go.
Yeah, no, ke nyako ho ba next he ke fetso introduce as Sergeant Manyemola so that ke bo full.
Yeah, I know.
That's why ke sa tla ka uniform. Because hey guys ke tle ka uniform no tla ba buima.
Yeah, never ilor Majita Monday ba tiste khatas.
Le tsetse ke re stop
Papa iskal.
get a chest out. Why one? So, but thanks guys for invite.
Yeah, Palai. Yeah, we invited you because well, do you want to explain your profession or spanning besides, being a policeman?
Yeah, ke social crime coordinator.
Yeah.
Ke responsible for all 36 stations around Tshwane.
Okay.
So it means Tshwane re na le station 36. Every station in a social crime office.
Okay.
So social crime responsibility are not the awareness. So we are the community, then we deal with the social ills. So yeah, in a nutshell, I visit the church, I go the community hall, I go the kolong. So this initiative, or Majita Monday, is the first more SAPS.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so Roroga Jaguba Fetu Gadi 1 December relay history.
Yeah.
SAPS.
That's dope.
Okay, that's tough.
That's dope. We're born to make history either way. You understand? Great, but yeah, basically we invited you next, as what you do because we felt we had to revisit this whole GBV thing. Yeah. And from your side, you can be able to tackle it professionally. Yeah. Because you the one that's got the stats, you probably know the root causes. I don't think there's any case that you haven't heard before. Wantwara. So you would be in a better position to enlighten us. Now, why did lots buyer the kaga come konardi bona? But it's always good to have a professional in the house to say, no, gents, it doesn't exactly go that way. Wantwara. It goes this way. And I'll explain why we brought you in.
Yeah.
A lot of men feel that GBV is one-sided.
Okay.
Wantwara. It's always women doing the marches. It's always women saying they're getting abused. It's always women doing campaigns. There's never where men are considered within the realm of GBV.
Yeah.
Even if they are, you find that maybe Majita Abai are
Yeah.
So that's why we needed you to come through and tell us your opinion about it based on the stats. Now my first question to you would be, do we have guys that come and report Kolenana?
Yeah. One thing I realized that gender-based violence is a very sensitive issue, especially for Renavan. Because there's a stigma that we are perpetrators. So, who are our question now? Men don't report for some reason. Heke Tomo joined SAPS 2010. Nento na le stigma sa hore maphodisa a tsheha banna he batlile go police station.
True.
So heke re ke stigma Sfuba. Ko hore le nna ne ke sitse before ke joina SAPS.
Yeah.
So hona dilo tse dintse no ra di bolela because re utlwile somebody a di bolela mara azanga ya o etsahala.
Yeah.
And the rumors tse bya o di shiana faster than who verify information. One thing I can assure you ko hore maphodisa a no, at least the generation ya rena, we are trained ka gender based violence and domestic violence. Ke number one priority crime. Ke crime e ba fethu. Hengare ke tle go wena Sfuba ba o bethile braka. Ke bula docket. Wa tsena complain ya gender based violence, domestic violence, I will leave everything and run to save a life. That's how we are trained to deal with gender based violence. That's the seriousness ya GBV. Sfuba. Yes, basadi ba reporta di-cases tse ntši ke basadi they are reporting against men, banna a ba report, you know. He ke thomo bereka social crime ke thomile ko Littleton SAPS. He ke tsena ka mo officing yela ke checka stats ke thomile o founela banna. He complainant e tla a bula report ya gender based violence, domestic violence, go na le section mo tshwentsa tsentse hore who's the perpetrator. So now I would usually focus on the other side ya the perpetrator, hore let me call this perpetrator and find out what is the problem. Wa bona, because banna ba phakisiwa ba metha ka 7 days ha boa if na kwatisitse ke diaphragm e jo iputsisa gore ha boa after 7 days ho etsahalang ka ese
o bua bjanong a nanne ka mokgwa mongwe.
ya o boa bidile. So if asa understand hore go na le the social workers tse leng gore they are assigned for both men and women, but because men don't come forward it becomes difficult hore ba itse hore go na le di processes tse ba tsamaile tsona, go na le di VFR ke victim friendly room. Every police station e na le VFR ba fitu. VFR go na le social worker ka task force.
Victim friendly rule.
Victim friendly room.
So what does it do?
Victim friendly room re supporta a victim. Motho ha tsena ka police station sa mathomo a anya go bolela ditaba tsa hae mo pela hae.
Assignment, yeah.
Wa bona wa itse o na le flopo go ntlong mara o palla go re botsa street e mo charge office gore na he ke thoma ke tlhako ke tlhang go teng ke re ke a tshwara go ntlong ba phela ba betha letso ene ke flopo for nna taiteng wa ntshwara. So banna a ba khonotla ba tlo bolela ntho mo charge office. Re na le victim friendly room e leng gore ho tsena o tlo bona go na le go bangwetse gender based violence desk, GBV desk. Go straight to GBV desk nyaka victim friendly room. Victim friendly room a o kra le polisa o kra a trained social worker e leng gore o mo tlhalosetsa story sa hao he o batla re tlo bula saka ena o founela rena re tle ka mo victim friendly room re khone o tlo bula case mo leng gore you are not intimidated.
Ke a utlwa.
le nna ka o tlhalohanya. So bjanong ka mola ho tsena motho a tlo tshwarisang or motshwarisiwi.
All right. Victim friendly room, anyone o nyaka information or o nyaka go tshwarisa wa tsena ka marata victim friendly room. Ke rata gore he ke di awareness ke botse batho ba leng gore they are in a relationship e treat o tshwana le kare ya ga bona re na banna mo ratang kare ka teng kolo ya house Sfuba o yemele e hotlhole pele before we isa for service.
Yeah.
That's why we tsamaisa ka di mileage.
Yeah.
Relationship tsa rena a re thuteng gore re ye counseling before re ba le flop. O sanya go ya counseling mola flopo e etsaetse Sfuba ba o phakisitse go no re ne baby a re counseling because o nya go a phumule molato. A re thuteng go counseliwa throughout our relationships because he motho nna le ena ra ya ka le tloela to a point ore le tloela na polai.
Anyway, we had it. Or let me boy look or let while on blind. But here's the thing though. Wabana canceling regaits amaya prayer.
Yeah.
But now I feel everything has to do with the willingness. Are we going to counseling because it's counseling? Let's just go and get it done with. Or are we going to counseling with that thing already? Rolukisa. Wantwara prayer. There's still people that you find Braga while they go to counseling prior to even getting married.
Yeah.
And they get into marriage and it still doesn't work.
Exactly.
Understand? Now if you learn a level the root cause that one would be what causes the violence in the house.
Yeah.
Ontwar. Go fitla kae mo ilong room go qina tshoro mongwe ka melala. Understand? Because there has to be a root cause, Brian. I think in my opinion, You can't call yourself a proper man if you are walking into your house and
Yeah.
You've got a psychological problem
A lot
that
of
you need to
flaws.
fix. Understand?
Go bolela bana Sfuba ne. No bona le ramatlhalenyano mombe. A re tobetha a ausi. Ana ta ke mo se joke ano why? Ke na botsela tsa ga ke sa rekisa diphatlo. Khala ke le psychologist na stra. Ke rekisa diphatlo. Are ya ngwanyana nna meitupu o mpoditse gore o mo tsentsa tseleng. Ke ola ke botsang ene ke re o tseleng wena. Ke re o tseleng wena. Sa mathomo ke ntho ga e botsang nna eo gore wena jotupi o proud ka ntata ha ha le bjao. Are a bana mosoro ha meitupu ke re nna a ke nna tae usu. A se nna tae usu la o re wena o mo tsentsa tseleng. So bianong go na le mathaka mang ana le bothata ka tlhago.
Yeah.
Ana lo thata ka tlhago a thomile go from go primary ano a re ke maraile da again.
Hey, Amarmaili, as if Tatagatlao. Let me tell you where the build up starts. Ngwana o tswa creche ke moshimane a lata ke mmae ke go bontsha build up o re desebya ha lata ke mmae o re ngwana mo mmae ke ngwana moshimane ke ar papa o nthatile o mpethile go creche ar mama o nthatile o mpethile go creche mama ha ya re mo ena o ka se pethile ngwanyana wa ntshwara Diamond ka usana ya darme e murleng ka switi ngwanyana on thatile ka tshulu tlo bona masimo amo pyatle go creature. What does that do now? Braga, everything that is done by a child is instilled by a parent. One one. So we plantile CDA la wena. Diman o hola tlhalohanya hore na mosadi ya ka simfiketse whether ka mantswe or ka wa mfostana ne a hona mo ka re ngwena motho re Braga ngwanyana ha bethi. One na mfana ka o itse pila re jo go ka nyiwa tsa le ba re mo betha because ke mutsa go una le tsa le o ila mpona ba rena ke pakelletse di sa ka mkhoneng ke a methana ka ntho o ira nna be se ntho ke sa utanyo wa understand so o itse ho ka tlangwanyana mo a rompilo petile ke a o mura
and behavior
because ke language wa una o sa itlhalwanye o ka mpane wa tla go nna wa re me brack betho ra ya ka ta ra wa understand because the thing is if I condone it now I'm gonna fetch you in prison later on. One. But also, Lirina, we need to look at the fact that there is root causes that get people there.
and behavior is full with Iran by protect because there's gonna be a report saying umpilo betile ngwanyana because mama ha mutse ro ka se betile ngwanyana
Yeah.
here tla re to report mahai o tsa da bomme ya mara letsa chance ke ngwanaka
Yeah. So, why is it
so le next time ke ra flop me e motho protect
Pure. One. So it becomes a build up. One
No, ke a utlwa ro ya kae.
Yeah.
Le nna ya la tlhaloganya ke a luka mara ona di typo like ona typo pe a go botse story sa eng aga raise ke kom time affair ali one ho sna motho a mmotsa wa understand the man are na no ba se mpotse se wa kra le kokobolo re dila byang search dila byang ka motho ke kokobolo ana le kokobolo wa jo let's stop parking pitching around the bush ona di kokobolo
Yeah.
e ke kokobolo wa mmona ona la mano mo le hona di usis ba ba khono mmona di mano wa mmona o re mara o tlo mpeta like ha ona romantic jo a hona selo se romantic ka diamond mara ba mrata jo that man like how bolela la usi the language motho wa botsore e ka mkhwabolela le nna emfa ke fetish ya
Yeah.
ya ya ba re ke monna ha bolela ba uka na go o mbitsa sfe are his fe bo go kae wa uka bothata shibule mara ka boshuwe tlo tshonya lena ke problem ya South Africa a bone hore a honna jo na le batho ba bangao training ke training ya re e tsamaya mo sporo o ka se training wa ke ntsha di 70 inch
No, right, di kokobolo di teng. Go na le banna ba leng gore ba believer gore mosadi gore o mo discipline o nyaka letsogo mosadi gore o mmontsha gore wa mo frostang tshwentse o mo tshware ka matsogo and then dilo tseo Sfuba ke di childhood traumas go na le ntho nngwe ngwana o gotse a e bona papa hae a ira to mama hae. So ena o define love as yona ntho ena e boneng batsadi ba e ba ira. A ke re bana ba itse seo. Remember bana ba ithuta from ho bona ntho e re etsang rena as batsadi. You understand? Unfortunately ngwana hao wa medi o nyala ke autie bja. He sa peya a tla spanning. More ho be le conversation. Ho a lwewa because ena ka mokgwa tseng go dila le problem ka teng. Wa understand? So le rena as parents re dlala a major role. Sfuba hona le banna ba leng gore they are abusive.
Yeah, true.
And they don't talk. Aba bolele ba le rena
Yeah.
ba cool.
Yeah.
Mara ba abusive. Wa understand? We need those men or they must come out so that recognize what's the root cause.
Because he can't come out.
Hey,
Because he knows where it's wrong. One. Maybe the examples might not be the same, but this is what I believe. Somebody once said to me, "How guys are going to go back and keep both in the coloi to our coloi?"
Yeah, probably.
Are the coloi go back and keep the atabaya? Yeah, you understand? Now, if I get to your house and everyone is jittery around the house, you are abusive. Yes, at some point you must brag a little like kono tsena go nna ka wa bona iso le sanyo go tlwaela ye wa ile mo ye wa understand
Yeah.
ke ntate tshwantse go manye brag go utlwa ha lo command ya motho ke mara if you do it frequently to a point that or bana ba o tshwantse ba o chabe, it's a problem. You understand?
I like where you're going because I think Batuvachi, especially Batuvanali, let me just say, Batuvanali bargaining daily issues.
Yeah.
They don't understand the difference between respect and fear.
yeah.
Because the minute when I respect you, we do things in order. But when you get around me, you free, actually free.
Yeah.
Understand? So it's most of the things that you the abusive household, if I can put it that way, if there's such a way. Because most of the time, but they do not understand. Respect. Because dito hayo tsena. Tsugonya wa ke pass for motse ha. Dito pupi ba garota. Ha ga no tsena fela ngwana a shile setlhagonyana ka mo dining room. Hona lo mo santse no betwa. O mo santse no betwa. And mosadi o ifuna le teng motse ha kwa banishe ba mma. Go sa yo tsena mo la re bana wa tlwela ngwana a shile setlhagonyana. Mara ne sa mmone twa. What are people you're not paying attention? It's
Yeah.
it's it's
Marmo our husband was twaka
and
was twaka go batho ba ile go resta ka tsa o ile ka o fela o tlo twaka rena ro khopele go strategy that was strategy to lokiseng.
You know, abuse is it's a power dynamic where someone wants to feel superior to someone else. That's who go le branyek so bolelo more na motho o tono wa fosta o behave hana le rena because why izor ha ka thomar ro mo tshwara ka di lash ra mo tsoro mo a se go na hana ngore
Ro bo hodisa ka pele.
ke understand bano yena o tshwarella di enga tsana le ntsona tse a tlhanne tsona kwa tlhanne tsona a fetsa ile so go di sa mosadi ya batho. Understand? And also adding to what Branyax said, hona le basadi ba bangwe le rena hence ke hola se ra ka kopana le anefrosa na botso are wena o bontse o le motho o ba le tsona ke re ara o rate dinto ke re are nna ke flop because nna he go sampete ke feel ka ron ra.
I've heard that one too.
So it ends so sad then because I'm thinking how deeply held.
Oh, yalla na shilo. Maluma o Lennox
re bolela ka GBV.
Eh? Ila ka baswi.
So it's a question I would ask myself for how deeply hurt are you to a point where if a man doesn't hit you, then when you don't feel love?
Okay, hence we are coming to next chat. I need to say this one. Yeah. Why is it flop over Mukai? Brayaka. It is difficult dating a toxic person and a mentally toxic person. Understand? We fail to face facts that some of the girls that we are dating, they are toxic, Brayaka. Understand? And when they are toxic, Rina, because Rabarata, it goes down towards Sdomane was saying, we overlook all the toxicity. One twar, Morajo, the Mutakarta, Lukis. Lirina, Caburina, so, can you go with the flopperina? So, Sgebi a got like a flopper, Name Froira 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Rarjogavasadi, man, Nartueta. Understand? So, all of these things, we sweep them under the carpet instead of actually facing the problem and asking Sgebi, what is the problem? Understand? We haven't solved the problem. We shifted it aside. His Sgebi high. He still got the same problem. One. I agree. You're not problem. Like the mate. I don't know what I'm going to happy Sgebi. Eish manaba mesoka chenu. Allah pay abar. When I'm rima of amato. Why wanna do real fikisaka it goes to him? You understand? Now you get to realize or marmuto journal now toxic. Or I realize unobona ele problem ya hormuto ai akitur kire biangae. Instead of walking away, ugraba no berkisa mata wapagwa.
I like the direction that you're taking. I wanted us to push it there because I'd like to believe 90, if not 80% of the time, you'll correct me, Rutmana. When a victim to open a case, when a victim comes to you to open a case, there's usually, most of the time, a root cause behind behind I'll give a very basic example. Understand? Come close to one hour like is another muntu happy. Eh, when love when nugget kikiri and kijevi or ala pia or eh when can one hour so markable look you're not going to answer question or ala pia or yeah now Santa we are media. Eh can ralo. I want it's a build up. I don't can ralo. Yeah, bila wana bila naku vono no kumpere kisa me ukira meeting ya nao. Ete bila mona style. I want man tunya na maso ato avia.
Mauge mulo.
Yeah, if it go. Le magasta lo or na ko mangu kasi.
And then who ira halo horo kitalapi. Because most of the time, it's not more but most of the time, men are not very vocal human beings.
Yeah.
You understand? We can't reason most of the time. We can't reason. We can't put our points on the table. Especially if things get intense. Especially if we get emotional. If you come along, motor thing is kind of hunzel argue molo ufela au lega munwa. Understand? When you motor when was it you? Happen na kuchumia. Akalona kaiti kwa. Eh, I know Betty. Police station. Kupata ma 70 second chupi.
And but I got the 10 revenge.
How not I dance for?
Agora fazer outra luz aí. Outra luz.
Agora como você sai daqui, sim, mas tá vendo 10.
Awati kata.
Ka high sting ba ko high sting ba ho ma uta kar sala bo. Ko pela utari.
Sala ritmo mo ife mul. Kamu tsakan kamu na lady kamula. Hola rafu. Também se você vai para aí de maneira tava bom. Não quero não de maneira não nana.
Mara Trotman que a outra legal busy no GB visa basari. Outra luz é Majita. Banna lo bona babe to muito legal.
Seconds game.
Rabona rebolela tsa basari cause dirala ke nka mkhoba bolelang ba ba reporta comfortable a rena banna nnono bra o ka tlhaba ke something se se nyakang doctor mara wa ipotse gore o se loma until 6 cause wena a o nyake doctor a o tlhaba injection mo leragong o ka se ye ko yena so nagana o ile o fitlha ko demons go tletse ngata ke motho a shena o tlo certifya o tlo irang litlo ke le kana mara o no burutse Majita gore na o nwele too much a o nkile bjang go busy o a ke nna ne re sa itse gore di teng di room tse so nagana ba re next gape ka Moloko Sounds e re ko sebele o tlile ka ngwena e re ko sebele ba nkgobaditse ke mang ke maidol e ka ema police station o tlo
Sgebi.
jika ba o lebelela so o tlo tlalia
And waiting to you over. Buffet to these things already experience and fail. Hona le batho ba leng gore ba mo abusive relationship in ntse le monna. Ba teng. Ene ba palla le go bolla le rena Sfuba ntse le brasta rena. Because of banana the stigma se so salang ko bona. His no words. Gore emana hape nna ke na le flow but I fro. Henga ba ka tsena lata. Hape ho nyewa la. Omphiaka. Wena is no ke vaya Sfuba. O zalo botsa Sdomane ra sa bona nyexe ka uniform e. Ha tsena. Sa opsha so opsha.
But so couple of sorry. So I understand like abuse. So as a man, how do I know or I'm being abused and what is abuse? Because baba abuse but because just because about that it doesn't mean about abuse. What is abuse?
Abuse in all the forms is different. Hona le emotional abuse. Banna ba bantši ba lla ka yona eng. Gore ba abuse wa emotional. O kere monna o botsa a ke rate ka mokgwa bola le nna ka teng. O sa bola le nna gore ke ngwana. You know, it means ka mohare se to feel the form ya abuse. Wa spana to Sfuba mara khape ha o tshwara di mete. O khopela zaka ko yena ya o reka tse pedi. No, que stata Sfuba ke le. O deciding like agree. O deciding go move. Again, but Brayaga financial wakawate ya waspana a o sana plan ya go gra di go mo ga. Bona go o dumetseng gore o isa za ka teng. A isa. Wa ntwa ke form ya ke financial abuse wa go bana ka botleng.
Wa braga no cancela ka re la wena eng. Le no mar. Do I have to teach you
or one?
Do I have to teach you about for that or was my pambola rai. Can it work it dal kutsubela. Marjo, another thing is we need to look at it in some ways, understand? Because yes, Majita family. And your emotional abuse people need to understand. Brother, what's we get to Musadi argument? Musadi wants an argument. 90% of the time what she's arguing about is not even accurate on the subject that you guys are talking about. She will find points to win an argument. It's similar to one time. One time. Akakoma kusa argument ya hori wena already be anagiri ya kumshudi baka mafene enelena likatu ka muntu ngeni to wena lo Sdomane leslale ndanga sakabulela si. It jumps very quickly to there because that's the point that she's going to win on. One time. Ari ke bona floko yewe bolela she will always want to retaliate with something that is a counter offer to you. Understand?
Argumentation to him. If I read the such, can you tell me it's a magazine. It's a book. But who's in the Wilaba?
And the kids in the Malava way to
What I do? Baro one go to a one go to Bra. Waha.
Lena pausa le show. We do not.
Argument that it will mesh potato. Why would sell all some?
or o tsetse go nna why is like no do o khatla mo mo le o put da mara if it le mo o itse wena ga o ina ba o itse go bona so ke na go fa a practical example e iketsa haletseng le nna ba fethu don't forget who police officers ke batho ba tshwana le re so ya mas gender based violence I na pa ba male nyomo or upuwa or I na pa ba ke ditse na ba le I remember this day le ke patrol le mane raka ko Sdomane ke fresh constable ko na ke tla college ke na le head office ba fethu le head office I ke na le head office ke find ba out go head office ena le mo I love you ba nna ba tle ko so go rona le somebody else on the side and another person is in my everything what is your everything Brian your everything ke motho le go direla everything wa felel sa re hence the patrol on the day re no na le conversation man ka mo go Sfuba wa ira mo ka find out on jo fo una le motho le thani motho ke conversation e fela ba e go fa ka mo ketlele o mo lo mo tla go phino na ke wa itse go pela batho rato tira ga re di go tsa nna ke wa itse so rato tira ga ha na jo ka mo koela a ke ra ga go bana le ba no guess what the next no chase ke the phone Sfuba o shile phone da ifro ke tsena ka mara da phone Sfuba a ke tse le password mara da se le bulei modimo a ke tse le cho a ke tse le modimo re sa thani na mara he ke bula da ine he ke scrolla chat number 3 ashu boyfriend my love my everything my one and only abantu butle kutle se ba ba mo tmo betha double B ke thomo tsaka le dina go ka bo manna go ne ke patlamelela this person ora o text ba motho ke le teng bona ni o tse Sfuba o etsa langa nna go teng ka bela ba ya zeto go langa yona shi ka phonela one of my colleagues ba mo na this discussion ka phone le para so ga la manatla are e ke tlaetse di flow a flow ke ka mo ntsa jo a po shuri tabelashi ka tsa studio sa ga ruwa this thing is by the grace of God. I'm not saying get over our conversation. I didn't go inside it. Kere, I'm living today over this testimony. That's the reason we live in the Nazareth. Like I said, I got Samara safe, Kela safe, Kafata Maliki. Parafan, Katama, I want to go down go confront the situation. I want me to say, Sfuba would super delay.
Yeah.
If you let the conversation, nobody balanced to okay.
Yeah.
Ali subelele mo arawa.
Hard pleasure.
We na go shia na le mama.
Hamna tijwa.
O sa ko itira motho ka.
Yeah. Kere, Manipula ke motsa Majita kere manipulation is when they fuck up and make it seem like it's your fault.
And it's
Ki se mo bona
ki se ke fault ya ka mo. Ha bona la ka mo ka feel or ne o itse ke entle ke mo flopping tse gore am flopping. A ke re na Majita.
Hey,
o riba bia a ke mo frustrate. Ha mo frustrate jo me dira excuse. Ba fethu asanga ka la bia. Ali mo go tsama go
bokolela. Aboletiska.
Salwa trabia ka to mo fatshe. Ya gore ke go mo tlhomo mo ke fila go jo o tla ga re bophelo ba ka bo fedi
ya le mmelo ba botlhoko ka re o tshwere di flu ya rapatiko e bona to ya utlo fisa o e dira tsaya ba re jo go tsaka botaelo ya
because we're doing this for South Africans who are enough in advance. Because there's this thing, I don't know, for me, this I'm putting it on the table. For me, I do believe that we do have got too many names for too many things, to a point that we don't even reason on those things. Because gender-based violence, all of us have got a gender. It's either we are male or we are a female, or we are mixed. So, gender-based violence, domestic violence. Monna wala ga rena mo GBV ke bona ba bolela ga mosadi o wela go domestic violence or o wela ga mo GBV or tsotlhe GBV again ke gender based violence e akaretsa all the genders like I said, and then the domestic violence it's another form ya gender based violence. So domestic violence e etsagala mo batho ba mo in a relationship, it's either intimate relationship or a family, or even makiaha, because like you know, so that's why you end up about domestic violence. Domestic violence, if you know you qualify and protection order, get domestic violence. But gender-based violence in already forms different. So rather who confuse gender-based violence with domestic violence. Can the domestic it's another form of gender-based violence. Alright. That's why again I will tell us. Did I go to visa? And all is not bad. Oh, basically, revisa na visa ngila nyo. It's domestic. It's right next to you. It's right next to you. How someone put it up? Yes, someone put it up. So Sfuba, the kenya go felletsa issue ya hore what happened to me after ke find out ka this relationship with partner go na le ke bone hore a ke cope ke bone hore di yang hater yang khawa ba fethu ke tlo consult a psychiatrist. You know why? By then a ka irela a partner man le utlwa rena ke go a ke wena ke se monate ka tsamaya bankela ka nna ba 6 weeks a ke re bona hape betile topa ke sentse ba itopa ai monate sentse engineering nakile ba fethu only ke white nyana so it can be nakile ba fethu and I'm not ashamed. No, I'm the guys who have went. One thing, from that day to today, I realized that my life matter, and I'm very important in my relationship. More relationship in how go. As a man, Banma Heroka is retirement. But to understand when to live. I like what you're saying. I've got Sgebi, some sort of a predicament, because men in nature, when your partner is happy or when someone is happy, makes you happy as a man. So your man. Your manhood, how you distinguish your manhood as a human being, is when you make your loved ones happy. Understand? So, if may happiness, I can put happiness and may before mine. Yeah, true. As a man, as men, we are built like that. Yeah, I understand where he's coming from.
I'm not going to That's why ke nyako le thusa.
Why what?
Ke flop ta ide mba fetu.
Nale nna ke tshwana le wena ka yona ka tabe ya di.
Hey,
mara a ke tshwana le
Mara, I understand where he's coming from. There was a time when Lisa actually texted me and she said, "What makes you happy?" And I said, "Are you happy? Are the children happy? It's not because we wired that way, but I don't know. Maybe it comes natural.
Yeah, it comes naturally, but I want to give South African men this code. Ne? I got on a msela wa pele chani. And I'm msela wa pele go pele, o lebele go pele ke mkompandle. a se ono controlang destiny ya dilo tso tsotlhe re na problem ya rena lo ipotsang gare he re re motho o happy re lebelela ka sele wa itse ba le ba the opposite sex ba kgone ho etsang ba be happy ka yona dating ela gore ya o ke golo e ya go pele thata and ya hao ha e fitlhi tang mara wena o kgone mo khotsofatsa ka dilo tse o reng o happy na grocery tletse monana le mano mo shuru te fetile mo combantle as ne re bolela before the show bad boys ba tlo direla bana
nna re tlo ba hodisa
nna re tlo ba hodisa and the day he re ka hopola gore ke rena re tshwere mo combantle gape ntho e leng forward unless lo dimpa sa o di fetileko mara ntho e leng forward mo wena a shile ya look I am a sort the only ntho e leng forward he eme re eme so le yona e eme ke eng he ke eme ke le monna so ke eng ntho e emang e combantle nka ema straight
ke ben raku
yo ke ben ragu e re gore ya go pele
Tswella pele.
tswella pele mara ba feta like bana ba a bana wa ba uka bana ba batla rena jo that mentality o nna kere because lefatshe le fitlhile moo a le wrong le ena a wrong ka mokgwa o le bolelang mara problem ke gore lefatshe le fitlhile koo kwala jo ne go sa tshwanela gore re fitlhe eng
maele lefatshe le fitlhisitse ke di-standards tse di setileng ke basadi ba e leng gore a ba bea monna mo tseleng ya bona ba nyaka se se nyakang ke bona wa understand Brian now we are at a point where in order for you to be a man it must be evaluated by a woman now you're being taught by a woman on how to be a man.
Yeah, I want.
Understand?
I want to.
So I want to and it boils down to two things. If you are firm as a man and say, this is what I want and this is how I'm gonna move and this is if I don't get this, then I don't compromise for shit. Then you're a narcissist. If you say, okay, let me succumb to what they want, then you're a simp. Now, where do you fall as a man?
I want to come in there. I like the direction you are taking, because I think Rena Majita, Kaunji, we've lost our leadership as men, because most of the time women don't know what they want.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why they said men are leaders. Now we've lost that thing, Yauri. We've lost the leadership skill because we are trying to satisfy.
I don't think we lost the leadership skill.
We have.
We have.
We didn't lose it.
I'm gonna unpack it for you the way I unpacked it for Nyex. We have.
Yeah.
Because
we didn't lose
the minute utwa moto are nacho munna wow complain against Felix Tayaki mnyaki. When now you are a vocal human being.
Yeah.
And then the minute you stop doing voice out whatever is bothering you, then you are no longer a lead.
Yes.
You are led by this person.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
so now you are no longer a lead. We've lost that trait as men because we've adapted to being told how to lead
By someone that's not a man.
by someone who's not a lead, who doesn't know what they want.
No, that was another thing. Sdomane. Problem e bile he banna re thomotepa. Re nyoko ba no ratepa.
No,
ratepa re nyoko ba mo competitioning le OCC.
No,
Ako
wait,
botse maka jo.
wait, flop
Ngukwele re ke akae. Why do I get ratepa re na bana? Jo, go to social media, which I think men re sa tshwanno ba go teng. Go to social media hona banong. Batho ba kono compete ka hore what do you put on the table? Banna shouldn't be around on a table ka di conversation tse bjana. Ra da itafola o go bolelang go tafoleng ena.
Mara
Ai o nyaka eng go da itafola.
wait ke nyako re boelle back go this issue as Sfuba. What makes you happy as a man? Before o ka ba le female ke eng ntho eo o la happy before patala le tshofo.
How was it? I cannot do now.
No, you are right. Banna Sfuba re end up re o lebala your purpose. Banna ba baya re lebetse why re le alive. Because when you forget that purpose, o tseya media how o muira your purpose. Everything that you do, we rela ena. You understand? I remember Nona le clique this other guy wa a security. O long hore o o committile femicide ka o bolaya partner ya hae ka gore partner ya ha tsamaya na tlisa boyfriend
Yeah.
and then somebody a mo thipa gore ish le wena o ile
Yeah.
spanning hape
Ho na le jive.
damane o re shetse video Sfuba before a tlhokofala.
Yeah.
That guy said ne ke irela before everything
Elegant.
wa e bona o ntloela blind ha appreciate wa tlhaloganya gore appreciation o e nyaka ko kae o e nyaka from difro Sfuba and o feela gore ntho engwe le ngwe a irang o irela difro o itebetse ena a sa le teng mo picture nke sala damana a hopola gore ha spana ho spana yena ha nyetse ke sefane sa hae Sfuba ne bana ba le ba tshwere sefane sa hae Sfuba
So no
everything yetsahala for yena
So no maybe how ho tsela ya go security a reke pizza e bolai one man.
Sfuba
Yeah.
a utlo go botsa ke re banna we need to learn when to let go and focus on yourself, put yourself first, because this thing ya gore o tlo nya go thabisa batho ba bantse o kry happiness ya hao
And but there's a good one about to go ba kwatisa ba nyoko ba thabisang ba ka o kwatisa hape opposite ya o thabisa
Go kwatisa, yeah.
and all the time he only disappointed o tlo kwa jo o tsa effort engwe le ngoro wena o tsele yo
Marmaile, why ti na ko ne ke nyoko unpackela that thing. Yes, Sdomane na e bolela hore we've lost the sense of our leadership. It's because of what is happening right now in our country. Understand? Whenever 90% of black women are the ones that have high position jobs. Understand? It's a system that is created. Gore basadi ba ba le positions tse kholo ba tshware zake ntši ya o feta ba gore ba kgone go laola ke ba. Understand? And I'm gonna say it bluntly. It's a system that is built to break a black man down. The minute there's no way you can think further than that. They know very well. Hierarchy from the workplace to the home and everything. It's designed, it's a system, it works for them. Rena, when Kalonzo Jerez, to throw Gnava a corporate hand. Understand? Half it a Unyova CEO go spanning of a CEO come charity. Understand? Evila when now no Rocavole like our Evila when now Zuli sharp.
I'll hold it sharp.
Evila holy sharp, low zoot. Understand? So you know when near her tax bracket yet. Come to 20 who and not 20.
yeah mo tlabi that's why di phaka mabitso o tlhoka nagana ga di German cars ba tsena bana noshi ba bina ba ntse ba re notela matlo. It's because a ke di CEOs malapanya ke di CEO wa nya ka mkhombandlela CEO hi CEO sharp chartered accountant whatever you are se salang ko mafelong go fitla ko hae he o sa thambele bale ba o naganang go ka o ka se loke le bona bale ba o nameditseng gore o be CEO o ka se loke le bona ne ba nyako o nametse you were just a ride for bona.
Yes.
And le rena Majita ka tsona tsa tshwana le tseo ke rena flop ka nako engwe we went to a point la gore lore ke Sfuba ka mona liski mara o la shit. And a skill is as Sfuba ka sang. It's important. Let me tell you some things, Fu. You've been in engineering and all these things. On the hardest part, like it or not, on the hardest part, that's why if one woman out of a belt, yeah, 60 men, on the hardest part, yeah, I'm filming, hey, Ira, because we are shocked that she can
She's
do that.
a woman, yeah.
Being a CEO and talking too much and having to sign things is different. Go botsa ke re ha ba re ka mola ke company mola go bofiwa ka spandle se sengwe ba re ke 78 story wa bana a ona mosadi ya ba yo mmeyangta ke sa le bona Majita ona
So we agree. Ka ntho se re ka bolelang hore
I'm passing the mic to the crowd, man. Apparently there's a bit of a crowd
Correct.
that,
or yeah, so it takes us back to the things that I said before. Hore feminism, the equality is selective.
Jo ke minus kwa botlaela.
it's,
Ha ke nyaka
yeah,
go tsamaya.
it's only when it comes to office jobs, CEOs. Mara kamanta hamaras bongano gas bone musadi are I want to be 50-50.
Never.
And another thing I once said is that what we're seeing today is the result of what used to happen. Hen nana go get primary. He gets primary. No na projecting over. Take a girl child to work. It's our thing.
So
So what,
never exist, bro.
so what they did is they abandoned all of us as young men, as young as I was, 7, 8, 9.
I wonder that system was starting.
Exactly, and they're trying to empower. So the system is to dismantle. They realize or to dismantle a black family. What you have to do is make the man irrelevant.
Yeah, you start at the head. I bet anything that you want to destroy, you must chop the head off.
And now to take it to physics, whatever you want to call it. Women fall in love with what they hear. We fall in love with what we see. So if you come to a woman wa mosebela, wa mmotsa gore damana se se wa o rata yes o irela lo tse tsotlhe mara wena o gola 3,000 more than ye. Ka se selo tama.
ene rena banna re irile ha kae batho basadi ba banna ba bang ene he
Yeah.
wa go wena
Yeah.
it's a flop.
We are also to blame because we those same standards that we were taught by some women, we took it upon ourselves and ranyatsana ka borena re le banna.
Exactly.
Fano verga shop right. Nna ke engineer go mining. Ra mo tshela mfano.
Ofre ngwanyana o ga monna wa lepodisa.
Yeah.
O ga monna wa lepodisa.
Shabara a re ka bo audience ka bo ka re ba je go botsisa something.
I see comment mara ke ratile lines e o e buleng mafellong wa bona ya re females fall in love with what they see with what they hear. You know, when you go out on a date with a girl and she goes back home, the friends who are girls will say, "Show me." No. The guys will say to you as a boy, "Except boy, is she pretty?" And you're going to say yes. But the girls are going to say, "What does she do? Does she work?" We understand he's handsome, but does she work? And we have to understand that about females. They have to be able to, what do you bring into their lives? And it's not them being materialistic. And unfortunately, most of us think it's a matter of being materialistic. At the end of the day, they must be provided for. What difference are you making into their lives? That was a statement. Excellent. The question is yet to come.
I like what he said. We are natural born providers.
Yeah.
That's why
Who said that though? Where is it written to live like?
it's life.
No. Let's pause this bus here. Who the fuck said we are natural born providers?
It's how it's been.
No. Braga, when I provide because I want to. You understand? It's my choice.
Sure.
You understand? Hege betcha Lisa Braga, ke mo betcha because we are kana. Ke feel out twanta just sakaka. Isengura I am obliged to ke mo pesa. No way. No fucking way.
Nago tsena ka mara relationship. Or ke ko ira bana ka nyala ko ira. What was at the back of your head? Or go provide la batho.
Yes. And erko
So natural.
No. The reason why I knew all my kids will not have a problem when it comes to provision was when I met Lisa. Lisa na kona tswer clip ama fellar brack tswer clip. Na ne ke tsia 50 ke tsia 50. Ka bona more wete.
No.
Whether ke chailo ra ga chaya ra bontshana iso.
Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. I read dispute that day. If I want to show you something, I want to tell you something. I want to bring a spanner in the works. Not a spanner, but some sort of a comment that's gonna twist things a bit. Wawana hold tshwere matla. Understand? When you've got the upper hand, how you treat your wife or your partner at that time will determine how she treats you when you are low. True. Understand? So hold tshwere mosadi how pila, hold tshwere senokono o le godimo. Tsatsi le o chaileng ha tshwere clip o kgona go tsere 5 jacket.
A o etse dimpia wena. Let's go to the next question. Where are dimpia with this?
Nchakane, okay. A story. You are walking on the street with your female, right? I walk a man and his daughter. You are walking on the street with your female, and then your female will go behind you because she innately believes that you are the protector. Because she was innately granted a dependence to you because she's aware that you can be able to protect her. Now, if you're telling me about feminism, it's a nullified concept that has no progress in human evolution. Let me tell you why.
I'm glad we agree on that.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Especially in the black community.
Let me blow your mind. Let me tell you why.
Especially in the black community.
Let me tell you why. There's a reason why God gave us bigger biceps than females. It's because you are able to fight the devil, and they can't. They can't even lift up a fist to you. Whatever fist the female hits you with is as good as a sponge, because that is not what they were given. So if you are going to tell me that a woman is a gold digger, it means you are not willing to date or marry. And I always say, if you're not willing- let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
It's a mamelodi when the
Let me
robot
finish.
started there.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. I always say to my brothers, if Dulafat, I always say to my brothers, if you're not willing, if you are single, if you are broke and if you are unemployed, don't find a female. Because females don't need to hear you say you love them. They need to hear you. They need to see you show that you love them. And
With
how
money.
Now let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. And it's universal. That is why our fathers were only given money for transport and gave all the money to our mothers so that they can take care of the household. And then that is a reason that most of us don't want to comply with. Let me finish.
Maybe
Let me finish.
when I was a podcasting, was already pointing a red.
Mamela something. Erege faith. Erego faith. Ke kwela, ne? So in conclusion, ne, it's not a matter of sex. You know, sex is the easiest thing to find under the sun. We don't want sex. You can get 10 rounds from 10 different females a day if you want. That's the least important thing we want in life and in relationships, because it's the most easily accessible thing ever. You want to connect, you want to provide, and that's what makes you a man. I don't want this to score this lady. I'm not saying this to score this lady. I've scored her a million times even before.
Oh, damn.
But the point
No,
is,
but this time around you scored a trillion. This time you scored a trillion.
If I die out mic it if I die for man mic. Brian, let me tell you one thing. Brian, let me tell you one thing. A man will only provide where they see value.
Oh. Agar
A man will only provide where they see value. If they see value in that type of a woman, they will provide. That's why it's because Moloko bona musadi ko motho o ro bona sa yena se bonang sa fila mo tshwantsa invest ko sona. You understand? Nga so understand the braya ka wena o nyoko firia ka rena flop. You understand? Itapila mo tshwantsa re fe wena chance.
Hola, Wafet.
Away.
Sure. Yeah, man, ya luta la bola ka darenga GBV le domestic ontswara akutaka wa all black ola ga ataker
Sure, bro.
frazumbe mola mo dareng mo GBV le domestic wira lang bila bila cause you said domestic it's between batho ba leng tshwela ba reng
In relationship,
ba leng in a relationship
Yeah.
and then GBV ira against
genders, different genders.
different genders.
Yeah,
So if time alaga, o abuse mamzo, wanzar,
yeah.
ribitsa yenye, ke domestic or ke GBV bila bila.
Agar time ale mama zalaba in a relationship, it's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
intimate relationship.
Sure.
So ke domestic violence.
Okay, domestic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then let's say wena le ngwana ko wena
yeah, yeah.
lalwa
Yeah.
ke domestic violence because le in a relationship. Wa bona? So mo ho na le relationship e ka nna family, e ka nna maki,
Yeah.
e ka nna intimate partner, then it becomes domestic violence. Wa bona? That's why ho ka be wa assaulta e motho e leng hore you are in a relationship with, case ya teng e ba ha e tshwane le just a normal assault ke DV ke ukore ke assault under domestic violence ba o arresta immediately and then you'll spend 7 days ko prison because alesa ladies ha o sa nore o ka phumula molato immediately has no feel hore wena le motho ha o le tshwarelang and then o tla police station or no ke papa bana ba ka ke kopa o tlo bolela hore ke papa bana ba hao after 7 days ko court o botsa magistrate.
So, Brianx, sorry, Brian, here's the thing. I have a personal issue. Kayo, na yore. So now, what happens when someone on tshwarisa for ntho e ke sa e irang, and then la ntshwara and everything, and only to find out later, Mutolas, she was just mad, or nanyaka chelete monne, nna ne ke sa nyaka go mo fa saka. So she cried domestic violence or GBV.
Or even rape.
Or rape, especially rape. What happens to that person?
Remember mmereko wa rena ke go bula di case akere ya re tlo phaka e re suspect ke mang
Lord Pan.
he o tla ko nna ko police station o client, that's why CSC re bitsa client service center nna ke teng ena ha mpotsa a bolela maka under oath o stand a chance ya ho ba arrested le ena because of now you are wasting state resources ka ho bolela maka ka ntho e sa etsahalang ya re tlo bula case e tlo investigate case e tlo ya court and then court ke bona ba tlo tseyang ba re keng ba tlo tseyang decision gore wa prosecutiwa wa chargiwa na go ya ka di merits tsa docket wa understand so rena re ka se o jikise ra re o na le maka we don't have that right ntho e dirang re lebella di element tsa crime fela gore all ntho e bolelang e matcha di element tsa crime na he di matcha out ya na ro bula docket ra isa for decision by checker then go court they will decide if we have to arrest a suspect or not.
So you arrest him, and then he's in jail 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and then the woman comes out because we've had cases where a man is in jail for 7 years, and then the woman comes out and says, basically, that one rape. My aunt told me to report this case.
Yeah.
So
then
now what happens to those people? Yeah.
No, it in the cases
Because they wasted
usually okra the victim because you end up being a victim from a suspect to a victim. But end up basua state, you know, because of both tshwaretse ntho e leng hore wa etsa. Wa understand. Ntho tshwentse e prove beyond reasonable doubt. That's why ke rena ho tsa to reporta go rena re tlo bula case according to your statement. A re example ka motho le ngore Sfuba o na le laptop ya utura o nya go itimetsa o tla go rena re ena ba mo fraud a re ena ba mmethile laptop yeah o te petile o irang o tlo bula saka nna ro irang ke re rena jo re lo checka a crime scene ra o bulela docket only to find out later or pela dimane ke ena I petile o understand so ke tsa mo no bontsha fela hore sina dilo tse so di a etsahala but go bofelong di na lo tlhaga he di tlhaga the person that lies under oath unfortunately wa tshwariwa for pejara.
But
Yeah, I understand.
Kabasadi
Eh,
are removed.
yeah, the way we
Guys, we've got someone in the crowd.
Yeah, before someone in the crowd, there was this guy. Ola na bolelang ka di provider, who provider di what mo pola ola. There are situations when you say you want to provide or you feel like you are providing. Ka taba ya ho tshwana le yona ya di wrongful arrest and what. Sometimes, and we will have a bolela hore broke men beira. Ejo, there are people out there who are these ladies ba bolelang ka bona banyaka hona le batho ba re ke di bad boy. Ba ba fa bana. That bad boy doesn't provide shit but only spam. There are bad boys that provide spam, and the same woman that you saying naturally you want to provide for, you want to be the perfect gentleman, one kiss from that person only, not from you with your providing skills and your fair check. They want kids from that guy, that bad boy. Look at how many women baba shenanga mrawa bad boy was providing selo balla. More than wena o ring wa provider or it's natural because somebody is next to you.
Or a provider ka nako bad boy. Agar bad boy we toro nyoko fitla ko dikolo.
Yeah.
Nako e o dese ka provider. He's got a facade that is got a campaign. You understand? Because why do you have a Can you go the irony of stupidity? Motar Sfuba namara kriki marne kiruga senjiwa semfiselo. Kiruri.
Double standard.
Kiruri barpila talo se because I maybe kistara. Understand? Uri.
Agar bana line la ore wa izuro mutu wa tlhapa. Vele wa tlhapa. Tlhapa hona ga mkono ntse tlhapa ngwana mmara tsamaisana bophelo. Re tse go tabeng tse transaction. Pila tsantse batho ba bana ba fa di sleeping. Ba re fetsa ora cause dimension na ba re tshwarela le tse tsa ditsing. Serious.
Chef motorita.
Ai ngari tla samba ngari ke maeli. Mara ke batla bolela ntewa. Adam wa 2025.
Yeah,
Ba itse re hobetse pila pila. Adam ula asifa ke Lino Adam motho. Because no a tlhalohanye dimane. O fa motho tšhelete o ire man batho ba mo.
I tlo monatsa ke tšhomi.
Na brua ke va le wena.
Yeah.
Imane ke va le yena ke kolo ya yeso.
Na
A ba tla mfolo sa mfolo.
Kevin, tshela camera. Na ba sadi ke nyoko ba botsa ka tšhe. A re nya ke ka tšhelete ya rena ra le botsa.
Re tlo lefa yona re batla o lefa yona.
Re tla entsha willingly a re nyake.
Like willingly so.
Na tloyeng a re nyake jo ke ya rena. Kan wa ile dal sailo jaaka ya lena.
Batho ba modimo.
Ai.
And bona ha ba nyakile ya bona. Ha ba nyakile ya bona.
Okay, one more.
Ba re control. Why?
A re nya and which is true. Agar le bona ba tlo botsa ba o laola. Brother, you cannot control what you do not own.
But does
Understand?
that constitute to us? So with us providing for them, does that constitute for us to beat them?
No,
Kill them?
no. Brother, moto brother through tlhaloganyo ya hao. Le ka mkho wena o ranang dilo tsa hao. They must succumb to your control. Monate bile, o understand brother? Willingly so. One. Mara re nyake ka zakarena brother.
One female in the crowd. Yeah, I want a female. I want the female.
Okay, greetings everyone. You know why women will always think that we need to demand money from you? You give us that option. Always when we meet with you guys, you give us things. But when times go on, you're no longer providing those things the way you used to do them. The way you used to provide those things when we first met.
Can I please answer her? Here's the thing. When you present yourself to me, you have fake hair, fake eyelashes, makeup on, heels on. That's a facade. So my facade is me giving a Hennessy, Sfuba. It is no better. And I realize you are not light, you are dark. and then
Yeah,
unyoko
But it's about what you
and
want.
lwena fruit.
It's
It's not like a
Demand la
skepile
tjhelete.
fruit wa ka mutailo la kutlhaka le lwena ka
Wa
ona.
bere
It's
spoon.
So nna ke tshwantse ke betho from day one.
It's about what you're looking for. What are you looking for? What will you go for a woman who has eyelashes and everything, makeup, if you don't want that kind of a woman?
Aowa, re
Why would you do
lebeletse yona re
that?
kgatlha ke se re se bonang.
And one thing about guys, you think money buys happiness. You think money buys everything. That's one thing.
Tjho le ka re le tsi ya
And it
tjhelete.
doesn't.
Yeah, money buys
Yes, we're
everything.
gonna take it because we need it.
What? That's why.
We
That's
need
why.
it.
That's why you guys would go for the most ugliest guy, but because he's got money, you go. So don't come here and act like you Jesus. Understand? A man can be ugly as fuck. Le nna ke mmona ke le monna hore motho o ke sekobo. Baye, wa ba itse. O kra tshosa nna ke ipotsa hore motho o na le plaka ya o rata motho.
Radimo.
Yeah. O mmona hore o bola batho le bareng.
Phiri, wa itse phiri.
Nchaka, but in closing, about what something.
Yeah, di mano ke Brian ka nahana o lapisa wena nna re ire bjang.
ke braha ina go ke braha
In closing, I'll fit up upon a sister. What matters? Wait.
Yeah, o araba ke nna.
I want to tell you something. I'm going to blow your mind away.
I mind you,
You
you
like
won't
blowing
blow.
minds wena.
My man. In closing, I'm under pressure. The gentleman wants to take the mic. When you meet a lady, what's more important is how you smell, how you dress, and how new your sneakers are. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me speak. Let me
Guys,
speak.
arsana na.
Let
Bas,
me
ai,
speak.
kupela
When you
tsamana
go
o
on
kupela o arabe
a
ke nna bana ba
date,
mo.
like a faith.
Yeah.
When you go on a date with a female, what you care about is how well you're dressed and how new your sneakers are and how good you smell and how expensive the flowers you've bought are. The first time. But now, 30 days or 60 days later, what matters most to you is that she's got sanitary pads. You don't buy flowers anymore because they are not important. What's important is toiletries.
Well, she doesn't see it that way.
You are not willing to take this with
Brian ka nna khopela o tse mamelodi ke nyo bona something. Ba ka o tlhotlhora.
Bafet kupela o araba diamond kan wa le sampe chantsar ke arabe diamond.
Ba ile re na go jore. Marabe ba ile marabe.
Yeah, sharp. Are try se bona. Bafet damano re file this warm. Ba re keng dom wiz. Wena wa re fa wisdom re file dom wiz. Bafet if ever o le Majita diamond o ska tso ha o mukweletse mo phelong ba wa pola o tshwana le diamond la ba reng o bui. A o sa ukwella batho ba babjano yo diamond o botsa dilo tse dingwe shesses tla go botsana teng go na le di happy marriages ko di squatter camping a gona di sneakers tse o bolelang ka tsona happy ukwella go na le di happy marriage ko di squatter camping o na le ane mano mongwe betha butsu engwe ya nkga go na le ane mano mongwe betha butsu engwe ya nkga ejo mazimbabwe ne bankhala na mahwafa every day go botse a gona di flowers. The only thing that you are doing now, you just scoring points more there Usiola and there Usiola what the rata the points say. Tago was there Usiola and the Dakhlewa o krea ane mano mongwe wa bad boy.
O hopotsa ka
O mo hopotsa. Lo tsa di bolela no. Ntang. O mpethile ka Dom Wizi. O mpethile ka Dom Wizi. Ela ke Dom
Ar
Wizi.
conclude ke tsa ba ex game conclude ba tsa ba diba.
Some finance, man.
And le na re short there Usiola wa morato no khatla ke di statement tsa etsa ka tje. Yo, wa u go re pola ke Dom Wizi.
Guys, our reflection tsa ba
let's
ex
repeat.
game conclude ba Brian. Am I
Ai wena.
Ar khopelo.
Au wa re shaba Dom Wizi, re shabe wisdom, re shaba Dom Wizi.
Conclude Brian ka re khono tsamaya.
Kana le re conclude ka GBV.
Amanyana lo wena.
Ayarna yo ya GBV ayarna eka mkhumo yo ya bana. Yo eka di mana ga se tsile ka mkhumo. Mara otherwise agar na le re sa itse or na di programs hona le
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
re hodisitse ke di-single parents di kwatetse bontata rena for dilo tse rena re sa di itseng hence ba kgonne gore wane jo gape wa se re wa mmona ngwane gore o tlo latlha side o tlhoka ba bo papaenyana ore o tlhoka papa e shapo ke bari mara wa itse nako ngwe motho o pola kgale kwa ko samkhana ba ba bja ko fatshe tsa ngwana o ebo man le yena o his head that guy to voice ka enyo go tswa phila monna Majita a ke re no re fa Majita advice Majita
Yeah.
sa chabo bolela ke didang ke bolela tlo gore nna o le one ti cheke braga o ka se harafu wa khatla ngwana batho ga re ke segwago ke dilo expect gore wena o tseya pi overstand that's why ba re tsotse enyo go tsotsi
Yeah.
o ka ira ka mkhone wena ngwana go heno ka mmuzo re futseke a o botse wa nyaka mamelodi e otle
Straight.
go se ngwana go heno tlila tsuhile mara wa batho that's why ba ba tseya ba 7 days
Onderzoek.
Goed hoor, kom
Wat
maar
is dat onderzoek?
kom maar iets moet na
7 days onderzoek.
o tsena ka nka reverse o tsene so
Ustime-
ka mkola mahila re muselo ka o lead bana ha o sa le leader o tsena
It's
ka
an agas backpack.
O ka song.
ene bo o tsena ka le fifi o tsena motsare ho a tshwana for wena o snae cause wena a ke re khale na ona le wa bona movie or maybe ba jutile ke di-brand ape ko di-brand na ona le Cynthia Rofro na ile steering a betha banna a braga ona mosadi wa ba le mata a ile re a ka o ira ntho wena o irang go mosading o mongwe and then ha o le ngwana motho tshwanetse di bale le wena gore ha ba ka mo ira tseo di irang bana ba bangwe maybe ne re ka afoga GBV maybe ne e ka ba e nnyane mara bo botlhe ba dira dilo tseo o boletse gami neng a ra batle plus no re na le grot mana re na re bolela mona re nna re bula docket
Ustabhayizana ngisari bahle ke tlolwa le bona ne ke re abanyaka o betha motho ba ka no mfounela ba tlo betha nna a ke o lwa le wena o tlo no betha nna
O thoma kae o le thaba e kana?
a ke re tle re ba tlo rantse enga remember ke re mo re ba tlo re motho a ntse enga na le yona maybe o na le energy e ntsi wa tlo e berekisa o ka nna I can take a few punches and nka se le wena
Sharply. Di ba bese conclude mo.
Okay. Conclusion ya ka gore, dear black man, you need to value yourself, respect yourself, and love yourself enough to walk away from a toxic woman. And to South Africa, GBV is not women-based violence, it's gender-based violence. So Lerena, when we come to you and we cry out, take us serious.
Batshwarisheng.
Fella.
Nako, ga ke re ke bona go. Jax o te braya ga o sa ilukisa le Jax. Sdomane conclude mo braya.
Now my words are simple. I think there's also say body GBV. There's always a reason behind this thing. True. And then I'd like to believe for the number one reason is when we men lost the skill of leadership. Because we succumb to pressures, they in turn make us furious. In turn make us react. Because no, hego wotsagere ke kopa le adol ka mo nna ke a itse gore my pocket ke a fota savan mara ta idol a re jo nna ke no estropes ko tsa le school fees le transport ngwana ta o sa snon dodge that infuriates me because ke spendile tšhelete le ngore a ke na yona I've lost that leadership skill I can't lead go re ngwana ha to bare ke no estropes nna ke coach me ke no savan o sa nya ke tloele you understand so
Emanya.
So, in conclusion, We need to reclaim our manhood as men. We need to reclaim our leadership. We can't be told by other people how to lead there as leaders. That's it.
Yeah, man.
Elias. Elias, ke a o kopela. Re na nako, bra. Ke a o
Ah,
kopela.
mara naka jeno jo.
Elias, re na nako.
Ay. Ka jeno la mfana kwa bolla selo. He ke thoma ke
For
araba
once, no ba
latela.
le for stand, bra. Ka re na nako. Le di battery tsa di camera di fedile.
All right, sharp. All right, South Africa. I love you in advance, ne? Hey, I'm clipped wings, Joe. So, South Africa, stop GBV. Bye. Because I've got a good statement.
Go with your statements.
My
But
statement
summarize
is great.
it.
It's great. But wait, nobody has to teach you how to respect yourself. Nobody has to teach you how to live life. And nobody has to teach you not to offend people. Not necessarily women or any other genre, but how not to offend other people. Because we have got a problem of thinking that the solution is offending the other person for my satisfaction. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know something how we But for it, whoever that came up with some laws, say they are on the constitution, or the laws that are phelang ka tsona, sometimes never thought of me as an Al-Kabulan man, an African man. They were not thinking about me as an African man. That nagetha from kopelekeng tsa dikgoro, ko dikgoro di lukisa, and di kgoro ne di sa lukisi taba tsa di family. Family ne itse taba tsa yona hore tse ke ditaba tsa family. So in came many things that came with the system, and the system is simple: break a black family. Simple. They are not even as it's a Sdomane leadership. Yes, leadership somehow, some way is lost. But naturally, we are leaders. And it's unfortunate that Batsere Mosadi wa rena ba mira hore abe against rain. Aska phela le rain. Before there were no cars, there were no money, there were no barking dilo tsela damana bolelang ka tsona. Tse ya bolelang ka tsona new sneakers. Nona le motho e leng gore a re lengala ha le deso phalala. Because na ba le barefooted. So lengala o la ha ke step e chale. Wa bona gore batho ba tsona le ba ke banna ba plastic. And that thing ka o botsa jo. Like yes, hona le mo bolelang nnete ka taba ya provision is not something that we have to ask for. No woman has to ask for provision. Provision comes natural. So why do they ask for it? I get that it comes natural. Why do they have to ask for that provision? If it comes natural, why do you ask for something that's so natural to a point where we really price tag? Because this one, economics, there were nowhere more. This is a booty, and a booty costs like this. Currency a booty. It's really again currency a booty. Booty. Currency. Currency a booty. A backup again. I get the currencies of my facility or the backup again oil. Ya marahu. Backup again. Get empty. All right. Bye, guys. I love you in advance. Till next week.
Yes, sorry, Brian.
Yeah, no.
O tla tlwaela ke Majita ba teng, so.
I know. No, what you? Bafethu, Samatoma, thank you so much for SAP as a platform. For it to engage le defenders alena. We really appreciate. And ke batla go tsa banna hore guys come forward so that the status are not econo balance, you know, because if you don't come forward ba tlo tswella pele ba hira basadi ka mkhobolelang, because basadi ba abusive financially. That's why the government decided to bear scale hore basadi ba thomo fiwa span. So men come forward. Hona le GBV command center number. E leng hore if a o batle ho tla police station ke 0800 48 4848 o kgona go kry-a ke 0800 484848 o kgona go kry-a counseling ko comforto ya your own place without going anywhere ke kopo e share mo 0800 484848
Especially when.
When I know phone that's all no job, they're drinking me.
Especially when.
Yeah, man. You know, when we talk GBV, it's always a touchy one. You know. Rena Vile, to tell you the truth, as men, we never know how to tread because everything that you say as a man will be labeled against you. Understand? Even if you are saying how you see things. You're a misogynist, you're a narcissist, you're this and you're that and you're other. Understand? But at the end of the day, I just feel like, let's try to understand where one is coming from. You know? Sgebi we will later. Some of the people we come from toxic houses where utatar never chavi. The same applies with some women we are dating. Understand? And now this take a moment where I'm motor nangas kweka munana. I say and I be a mahuleleona. Understand? I feel like I practice it like that. So I think it's up to everyone to change the narrative of how they want to run their household as a person. Are you going to run it how you were taught in that type of toxicity, or are you going to change the narrative and say, I'm building a better home? Because there are people who grow up in homes where it's all in a choice. Understand? But my conclusion is the greatest project that you have is you. Nurture it, build it, repeat it time and time again until you get it right. Majita Monday,
Like and subscribe,
Like and subscribe.